What's going on, everybody? Rob here. Here's a little video. This is coming from the heart. I try to keep everybody abreast of me, what's going on, and everything I go through. So this is addressing going through a perineal prostate biopsy. Okay, a perineal prostate biopsy. So with the prostate biopsy, the old way they used to go through your rectum, right? So the new way they don't have to go through your rectum. So it saves on like less chance of infection, right? Although they put the camera, the ultrasound, where they used to go through. So let me tell you that. They put the camera where you used to go through, okay? So I recently went through one of these. I'm awaiting the results right now. I had to do the MRI. So the MRI, you gotta, with the MRI for the prostate, I had to fast from like 2 o'clock the day before. And then I had to do an enema before I went to bed the day before. And then I had to fast, like I intermittent fast anyway. So it was all the way not till like 3 or 4. I was like 26 hours without eating. So my MRI was scheduled later. And then they'll give you a level when your stuff comes back and probable this and probable that. Well, I was at the top. So I had to go through the biopsies. I had to go through the perineum biopsy, right? So then they let me know from my PSAs that I probably have to do that anyways, and then they put the squiggly finger and my prostate was enlarged, right? So I went through the MRI, then I had to schedule the biopsy. They scheduled it like a month out, so your mind is already like, oh my god, I gotta go through this, and it's a month out, a month I have to wait, right? So the good thing is that I was the first on the schedule for this perineal biopsy, but I wasn't even worried about it. I mean, I'm not worried about anything. I really ain't. It's not like I'm having anxiety. I would have a little discomfort, not in my anal or rectum area, just like on the innards in there is where I would feel pain and discomfort, and then it just got worse, and then they did PSAs, and that's where they found what's going on. But, so the perineal biopsy, I went in, they put an IV in my wrist, and when they put the IV in my wrist, they came in, they talked to me, they says, well, do you know what you're here for? Do you know what this, that, and the other? So what they did is, when I got in there, they kind of strapped my arms in a T, right? And then they have like stirrups that your legs are like this, and then they strap your legs, up in the sitting position with your legs up like you're having a baby, and they strap those in. But as they were having me lift my legs and scoop my butt down to do all that like I'm about to deliver a baby, as I was dozing off, and the big lights were there and everything. So as I was dozing off, it feels like I just closed my eyes, and I woke up and the nurse was there, and I was like, I says, the tip of my penis and my anus is hurting. No, not my anus. The tip of my penis and the back of my testicles are hurting. So the tip of the penis and the back of the testicles that were like on fire, right? So he says, all right, let me give you something in your IV for that. So he gave me some Tylenol on that, and he says, how's that? I said, it's like a 4 or 5. So then I think he put Tramadol, or he put something in the IV that took the pain away or whatever. But you're going to have to try to go pee before you leave, right? So I knew I was going to have to try to go pee, but I'm always a nervous Nelly. So I went ahead and I had to pee before I go in. And they said, you can't hold it because they're going to make you pee when you leave. I said, man, so the nurse said, I'm going to rehydrate you anyways. So as I'm laying in the bed, disheveled, he brought me some Lorna Doones and a cup of coffee. So I was like, oh, thanks, because the coffee will help me pee, right? And then I said, oh, I think I got to pee, but you're just waking up. So they brought the bottle. So I'm laying there sideways in the bottle, and I was like, oh, because it just stung a little bit. It stung a little bit, but I didn't look at the bottle at first. But as I'm waiting there, I damn near filled up the bottle. So, and I did look at the bottle, and the bottle was red. So I was peeing blood. So you are going to pee blood. Heck, it's 4 days later. When I wake up in the morning, I'm still peeing blood. If there's time in between that I pee, I'm still peeing. But it's just a little bit in the beginning, then it goes. A little bit in the beginning, and then it goes. Overnight, it's a little bit more, then it goes. But you have to keep hydrating, and you have to keep peeing, because what happens is the blood inside of your penis tries to clot. So you don't want that blood clot, because if it does clot, then that's when you got to go into the emergency room and they got to with catheter or whatever to get your pee out. So if you don't want to look at it, just start to look away. But you will have to pee. Well, you will be peeing blood, right? So one thing that you're gonna have to look for is, like you pee and then you try pushing to kind of push the rest of it out, like psh, 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 at the end of it. Don't do that, because I guess when they go down there and you try to squeeze that, it really hurts. So don't try to psh, 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 just let it try to flow, and then when it's done, shake, because don't push, because it will hurt. But now this is only for one day. This is one day that I felt this discomfort. I don't want to say it's extreme pain. I felt the discomfort for the first day, and you're supposed to stay off your feet, but we had some stuff to do because we got a family member in the hospital, so we're running around and everything. So by that night, I was sore, but all I did was take 2 Advils, and it went away. So the next morning, I was up, and I was pretty good, and it was just a little bit sore. It really was very tolerable. Oh, and another thing, when I came home, since I was peeing a lot, when I left the surgery center to my wife to drive me home, I did ask for a Depends, and I put a pamper on because I didn't want to get blood on my shorts or my underwear, whatever the hell. I didn't want to get blood on it, so they gave me a Depends, so I put a Depends on, and that's how I was transported home. But this is like the 3rd or 4th day, and I don't even feel like anything with the surgery. I feel good. I feel like, okay, I'm walking around and everything, although I'm still peeing blood some. But they said that could happen for a week. It could be in your, you're not supposed to have like any sex for like 7 days or something like that, but it could be in when you're finish your ending during the sexual period. Your blood's probably gonna be in there for a month. A rust color, if it doesn't sound sexy enough, right? So either way, perineal biopsy. No need to fret, no need to be scared. I would question if they're doing the rectal one and say, look, it's less chance of getting an infection if you do the perineal one. And all they do is, there's no stitches, there's no glue, there's no nothing. They just stick needles, or I don't know, a needle and move it around, or a couple needles to get different samples of your prostate. And here I am. I made it through. Like I said, I wasn't even stressed out before I went in because I know they were going to knock me out. And then when they knock you out, then they give you the pain medicine, so you don't even really feel any pain. But it's just the kind of distilled discomfort when you see the blood. All right. So either way, I said I was going to do this video and put it up because I share everything with my life, everything I've been through, everything I fixed. So there's going to be a guy out there that's going to have to go through a perineum or a perineal biopsy. So this is just to relax your mind. It's really not a big thing to do. You're going to need somebody to drive you home so they can put you to sleep, because they put me to sleep. So if they want to do it in the office, say, buddy, take me to the place where you're going to put me to sleep, because I couldn't see doing that if they were going to keep me awake. All right. Please subscribe, like, share, super like, or, I'm just trying to grow my channel like a regular YouTuber. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.